Okay, distinguished delegates, Your Excellencies, and our honorable guests, I'm very delighted to speak on behalf of Georgian youth, and I would take the opportunity to thank UN, Government of Georgia, and Youth Agency, enabling us to raise our voice. I was in 10th grade when my geography class started with new bold chapter, UN and Sustainable Development. At the time, a lot of students were required to acquire its official definition by heart. Maybe 6 or 7 years passed after that, a lot of students from geography class still know the definition, but not the majority of them applies it practically, applies SDGs on a daily basis. The pandemic COVID-19, its successful implementation of SDGs nationally and internationally. It was a wake-up call that the agenda leaving no one behind really did not match reality. And it was a kind of reminder that there is a need and importance of international engagement, where the youth engagement, participation, and advocacy are the milestones of the process. The UN's specific and unique chance is supporting Georgia through its nationalization and institutionalization of SDGs through different activities, capacity building mechanisms and agencies, and also government's desire and commitment bringing this 2030 agenda of UN into practice to get a tangible results is a clear demonstration that Georgia is the part of Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030. However, there is a myriad challenges the youngsters are facing. I have traveling a lot. I have known a lot of youngsters, and they are telling us that the participation in decision-making processes, especially at the regional and municipal levels, are really low. And the municipalities need to raise their voice with the youngsters and identify their interests and the needs in order just to make policy priorities accordingly. The situation during the COVID was even worsened. Approximately 80,000 school children were not able to fully benefit from the distance learning because they did not have full access to the technologies and internet. As the 20% of Georgia is occupied by a Russian Federation, including Abkhazia, the youngsters from Abkhazia and Trinwali region did not fully benefit from SDGs and cannot participate in decision-making processes. Thus, the core motto of 2030 agenda with youngsters, for youngsters and by youngsters, did not meet reality. Especially during COVID period, youngsters and people from Gali district, Georgia, Abkhazia, did not exercise their rights fully, as they did not have access to core fundamental rights. This is right of movement, and what was so much essential at that time, right of access of primary health care. I really believe that the sustainable development really does not come without peace, and I want to demonstrate one clear story, the success story of a very little girl. In 2008, this little girl was just 10 years old, and he had to leave her home village with her little friends and family members by force. And this little girl's fundamental freedoms of having quality education and the right of living in a secure areas was violated. But this girl, after this, in terms of military helmets and in the front of the barbed wires, with no capacity opportunities and with no capacity building opportunities, had a very clear dream to come into their community and to participate in peace building processes. And this very little young girl, this is now the lady in front of you, presenting in front of you, and this is the story of me. So since then, I just graduated the university, and the SDG number 4, help and educate your community, was my action plan. Since 2010, with the help of Nicosia and Trinwali Metropolitan Isaiah, we are organizing International Animation Festival just 1 kilometer far from Bay regions of Trinwali. And a lot of international friends, the animators, filmmakers, the international singers, all the people from cultural sphere, they are gathering together in order to come to educate my community, and thus to help us to engage the youngsters. This is the story of me, and this is a lot of more successful stories. We can encourage such kind of stories the rest of the people. Since the military helmets, there was a blue helmet of peace and hopes, and I really hold now the most important helmet of my life: education, dedication, and strong desire to. And if there is anyone who is hearing me who feels not comfortable dedicated and who feels itself beyond the boundaries. I want to address him or her. Just make a change you want to see in the world. I thank you.